Hey team, I wanted to take a couple minutes to show you around the Dropbox. This is especially helpful for new agents to give you kind of a quick overview or some of our agents who maybe need a bit of a refresher. So let's take a look. This is what our Dropbox folder looks like. If you are one of our agents and you haven't gotten an invitation to the Dropbox yet, send me an email and we'll make sure that you get set up in that. So first of all, there's three sections of the Dropbox that are important. Section number one is our agent handbook. This is how we do everything. So very important. It'll be good for you to get into this and to start kind of poking around to see what types of documents are in there, because you may not have the question today, but at some point you're going to wonder, what do we do with earnest money? We have a document that explains that. What do we do once we have a closing? Oh no, what do I do? We have a closing process worksheet there. If you get a new listing, what do? We have a document for that. We have just the whole process for if you have a listing or if you have a buyer. We have all that stuff delineated, how you are to work with that. We also have other random documents in there, but these first several are the very most important to begin with. And just a note, like for instance on earnest money, our philosophy as a company is we try not to handle earnest money whenever possible. So the best thing to do when you have a deal and you have earnest money involved is to try to see if you can have the title company hold that, or you can have the other agent's brokerage hold that. So and the reason for that is we basically, there is an accounting cost that's associated with handling earnest money. So as one of our strategies to try to help us save money for our agents to keep the fees low is that we transfer the cost of the earnest money accounting, we transfer the expense of that to our competitor. So the other brokerage involved, they can spend the money on the accounting for that rather than us. But you don't have to send it always to the other broker. A lot of times title companies will be happy to hold that for you, and that's probably the best solution there. But sometimes we do have to hold earnest money. So when we do, this worksheet tells you basically what to do. So I do realize in some cases we have to hold earnest money because of, maybe it's a foreclosure or short sale or something where there's a little bit different thing going on there. We have our closing process, which is good to just understand what to do once you get your closing. What do you do with the paperwork? What do you do with the check? All that. So these documents, this is basically our company handbook, and this tells you how we do everything. Okay, so another important section of this is our artwork. So you might want to perhaps design some of your own flyers where you might need logos for one thing or another. And this has various versions of our logo in different formats. Some of them are just the standard logo. This one is just, there it is, Plum Tree logo. But then we have another version that's reversed out. So it looks like it's white on white, doesn't it? But basically this is a white logo with a colored plum. I almost said pear. Pear Tree Realty just wouldn't sound the same. But here we have a reversed out version of our logo that you can use on a dark background. It's transparent, so the background is transparent. Some of you design people know what that means. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. But here we have this is another transparent reversed out logo where the plum is white, and so that's you might use that in certain situations. Maybe if you want to put it on a shirt or something and you need only one color and it's reversed out, that would be that. And we also have versions of just the standard logo, which is on a transparent background as well. So different people use these logos in different ways, so that's helpful to be aware of that. One of them is actually pre-sized for, let me see if I can find it, for the signature size on an email. So that's already pre-sized for that, so that you don't have to worry about resizing it to make it look nice in your email. So we also have other types of artwork in here. If you would like to get signs made, maybe even yard signs or things like that, we have just a standard for sale sign. We have that in there, the artwork for that. This one's a 30 by 18 panel. We have the 20 by 30 panel as well. Or if you want to get some open house signs, I really like the vendor 24-hour yard signs online. You can get corrugated plastic signs, and they are very well done and quick and inexpensive. We also have directional signs in here, which is very helpful. Put them out on the street corners near your listings. Another thing that we've done and had real good success with is putting these list your house for $500 signs out around the community. So I've had a fellow that I've paid about $50 on a weekend to put these signs out all over the area, probably about 50 signs out. And then on Sunday night he'll pick them back up and reuse them the following weekend. And we get these printed at 24-hour yard signs, and then what we've found is just about every weekend that we put the signs out, we'll generally get one listing. So, you know, we pay $50 to put the signs out, and then we make $500 to get the listing. So, so obviously we can put your phone number in there. So email me, and we can get those customized for you to put out on the street corners. We actually have some agents that use this design. They use it on their business cards, and they hand that out at investor gatherings, and they get listings that way. So kind of an interesting approach, and I definitely recommend that you think in terms of you know, getting the word out. Another thing that we have is we have a folder here for social media graphics. So one thing in here is there's Facebook covers that are pre-designed that you can use these. They're already designed to fit on the Facebook cover section. So as you can see, the logo's off center a little bit. So your picture goes here on the typical Facebook page, and there'll be some information up here, a little bit of information down here. So the way this is designed, it actually looks really nice on your Facebook wall. And there's different versions of that you can use. And now one of the things I'll say, I don't recommend just burying your Facebook wall with tons and tons and tons of advertisements, but I do like to throw things like this out there on Facebook, you know, once or twice, maybe 3 times a week. I'll change my Facebook cover photo or something, just so that it reminds my friends, oh yeah, Chris, he's in real estate. So as much as you can remain top of mind, the better, and it will definitely help you keep the word out about your business. So so those are Facebook covers. There's also promotional graphics that we have designed, and different things, like if you want to promote listings on your Facebook wall, this is a good graphic to throw out there. And I would encourage you to use these for Facebook, use it for Instagram, use it for LinkedIn, any social media where you can get these graphics out there. Graphics definitely draw people in much better than if you try to just tell them what you have. This one's for doing a $500 flat fee listing. This one also is for flat fee listings. We have some, they're just very simple, and you can just put this on your Facebook wall, and it tends, the black in particular tends to really draw people in because it separates itself on your Facebook wall. So lots of options. Even if you want to recruit, there's different graphics that you can use for recruiting. Don't forget, if you recruit an agent, if they come on board as a result of your influence, then we will pay you $1,000. So definitely good to start getting active and letting your realtor friends know about what we have. So we have all this artwork that's already pre-designed for you to be able to use. So okay, so that's our artwork that we have, which is very helpful for our agents. The last thing I want to show you is our document library. We started using Dropbox from the beginning of our company, and then we started expanding into Dayton and Columbus and Northern Kentucky. And by the time we got into Columbus, then we started to switch over to using .loop. So we don't really use these documents as much because most of it you can get in .loop. However, if you're out and about and you don't have access to .loop for one reason or another, or you just want to have a hard copy, there are the documents that you would need for a transaction. Once we started moving into other cities other than the original markets where we were, we didn't expand these folders, but if you're in Ohio or Kentucky, you should be able to get most of what you need through those. We have this random documents that you should be able to use, and this folder has things such as the Plumtree Marketing Arsenal, and this is a flyer that you can take with you to a listing presentation, or you can email it to a listing client. It's a really nice brochure which will explain to your clients what you will do for them when you list their home, rather than you just saying, hey, I'm better than everyone else. You can show them the things that we do that are nice. And we do have a couple ways of listing homes. One is a 29-day guaranteed sale program. If you don't know how that works, we have another training video which explains that and how to do a flat fee listing as well. But we have a lot of distinctives that make it easier for you to get listings when you use our 25-point marketing plan. And so I would encourage you to get to know this plan, study it, and then we do have it in a customizable form, so you can change it if there's a few things that you want to do a little bit differently. And then, so that's the marketing arsenal. We've got documents like how to buy a house. This is a good document to give to buyer clients when you have your first meeting with them. It basically walks them through the steps and makes it look like you've done this before, which is helpful because they may or may not have done it. So let me switch into this view. So basically, let me see, the contract cover page is important. We have a commission rebate agreement in there. If you'd like to give a commission rebate to your buyer clients, that's a great way to hook customers as well. Let me see, just a lot of random documents, very helpful to make sure you have, that you're aware of. Letterhead, a NAID number. So if you want to bid on a NAID, a HUD home, that's our NAID number for doing that. So just a lot of random documents, but they're helpful for building your business. So I guess the point of it, I would say, is make sure that you're familiar with Dropbox, because there's a lot of good resources in there. And between the handbook, artwork, and our document library, lots of resources for you. So if you have any questions about any of that, shoot me an email, and I'd be happy to chat with you, help you get that figured out. All right, thanks a bunch.